I will provide you, as I mentioned, a short overview, and after that, I will actually form a few policy suggestions for those countries who are represented here and coming from different EU, different decade member states. So then, let's start. Why to invest in early childhood education and care? Before going into the details, let me very shortly highlight the importance of early childhood development. We should think on early childhood development as a good investment, not as a cost, because we do know that this has a very good return. We are aware of that, the brain development and the well-being of the children, and I'm speaking about the physical and emotional well-being of the children, is very important. The health of the children in those early years is very important for the later school success and for to be a happy and productive adult. So I will not go to any more detail. I just wanted to state that it's obvious and stated by brain researchers and scientists that it is a very good investment to work with the smallest children. The Good Start. The Good Start project had two main objectives. Of course, first of all, to have good quality services, to provide really good quality early childhood education and care services for Roma and non-Roma disadvantaged children. We were always including non-Roma children as well. We had an explicit but not exclusive targeting. We involved non-Roma people. So it was one objective. The other one was to focus on the outcome of these interventions, to very much watch what we achieve, what is the impact, what is the outcome of the interventions. The budget was 2.5 million euro. Actually, the European Commission provided less. It was 1.9 million, but we experienced a donor gravitation as the Roma Education Fund was approached by other international organizations, and they added a little more share, so we were able to finance even more, a more muscular project. We had more than 4,000 children. We were working during the last 2 years, just finished the project on the 4th of June. And we had already 12 local implementation partners and 3 international partners. 2 Macedonian partners are here in the room, NGO CAM and Umbrella Foundation. They are represented because we were working in Macedonia as well. And UNDP is represented here. They actually were a kind of international partner in this project, beside the International Step-by-Step Association, the Spanish organization Gitano, and the Slovakian organization. Going to the map, these are the 4 countries where we were working. We had urban and rural localities everywhere because our aim was to compare the impact, what we will achieve at the end, and compare urban and rural settings. And here, just to provide you a few data, when we started, we had a household survey, and we had a household survey just recently when we are finishing the project. You can see the big differences between the 4 countries. Jaroslav already pointed a few differences. This is not a representative data again. This data gives you information about the Good Start localities and Good Start countries. However, you can see clearly that the kindergarten attendance was just 13.1% in Macedonia, very low, and in Slovakia it was a little bit more than 20%. The question is why? Because these countries have different legislative framework. It is not obligatory to attend kindergarten, preschool in Macedonia at all. And above of this fact, everyone and Roma and non-Roma are supposed to pay 25 euro per month if they are attending kindergarten or preschool. Of course, the people who are living in extreme poverty cannot afford it. And I will not go to more detail, but you can imagine if it is not obligatory to send children into preschool, kindergarten, of course the figures are pretty low. So this project was always tailored to the local circumstances. What kind of challenges did we experience above the different legislative framework? we experienced that, however, there were available financial resources, capacity problem was still an issue. And I can give you an example, and this is Slovakia. Slovakia is an EU member country. However, it was not possible for a maintainer, for a municipality, to apply for funds and get money to build a kindergarten building. Unfortunately, after the change, after the socialist system ended, a few kindergarten, or let's say a lot of kindergarten buildings were closed in Slovakia. There is a huge capacity issue. However, the EU funds didn't allow municipalities to get financial resources and build buildings. And there are more challenges in this slide, and you can go and read later on because this presentation will be available. So what we did in the different countries. Very shortly, in Slovakia, where, as I mentioned, we experienced capacity problems, we organized home-based ECD projects. We were working with the parents and the children in their homes, where children do feel secure and mothers can be approached more easily. And if we go to Romania, however, we do not believe that community centers can be long-term solution. We had 2 community centers in Romania because our Romanian target was very much compact and there were no any other opportunity to help them and to provide transportation and provide integrated services. So we were working in community centers in the settlements. However, we were focusing very much on providing comprehensive and complex services. But I have to mention that this cannot be a long-term solution. In Macedonia, we were working in Eastern Macedonia and also in the capital here in Skopje. And there were differences between the activities. As it was mentioned already yesterday and today, those people in Shutorizari who do not have official documentation, birth certificates, etc., they had to be helped on an extensive way. Now, in Hungary, we had a nice kind of list of activities, as I stated here, interconnected interventions. We were working mainly with the mothers and focusing on empowering them, not focusing on the kindergartens or other important goals. And I have probably no more minutes.
Yeah, maybe it's just better to move forward to the policy recommendations.
Exactly.
Okay,
actually, I am almost there. I have 2 slides. This is the policy recommendation. Let me summarize the lessons learned. And let me try to formulate policy suggestions. Of course, there are big financial burdens, but this is our experience. We do believe that 2 years of subsidized or free kindergarten for every children, including Roma children, should be provided in order to have a successful school career and happy adult life later on. Also, inclusiveness and the integrated approach when we are speaking about early childhood education and care. And let me go to number 4, focus on home-based parenting. The home-based settings were really good. We really did achieve something with this kind of activity because parents were empowered, mothers were really started reading stories, started discussing between each other the importance of kindergarten, etc. When we were working with the mothers and organized different activities and empowered them, when we succeeded this, we really achieved something. So instead of working with community centers, I would recommend to think on home-based settings when the governmental services are not enough and when we do not have kindergartens, preschools, and it's not possible to send all the Roma children, disadvantaged Roma children, to government-maintained services. And this is a special slide for those countries who are EU member states, because the EU member state countries who are in the decade, they have a unique opportunity now. They are planning the EU funds for the 2014-2020 period. The next programming cycle is planned right now. And actually, this is really an opportunity to think about and decide to support early childhood development for disadvantaged Roma children. They have to link the structural funds to the mainstream educational strategies. If the legislative framework and the plans how to use the structural fund are not connected, of course, it will not work. And early childhood education and care should be a horizontal priority. Again, we shouldn't focus and we shouldn't finance pilot projects. We have to think on long term. And the tailored projects, this is the next. We have to target the deprived microregions and urban centers. And this is one of the lessons. In urban circumstances, it's much more difficult to work with disadvantaged Roma, poor communities than in rural settings. And I can list a few reasons why. So then I would finish here and not to take more time because I know that we have other things to discuss. Thank you very much for your attention.